All right, okay. So this is another Zoom virtual class, okay? And this one's gonna be about IELTS, okay, again. And this one is about reading and vocabulary, okay? So we've been talking a lot about writing, but I just thought that it would be a good idea to actually get one, do one today that would be about reading, because, you know, it's funny because reading sometimes it's quite easy for a lot of people, but I've been finding that a lot of people struggle with reading. Okay, so that's why I decided to do this one, and not just reading, a little bit of vocabulary too. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so how is this going to work? Okay, so the virtual class is always the same. All right, so you have a presentation from me. Okay, and then you can participate at any time. You can send questions via the chat. You can speak through if you like. Your cameras can be on and off, but I'd like your microphones to be off. All right, cool. And you can ask questions at any time, right? So I'll try to get to the questions at the end. All right, but that's it. So let's get started. So who am I? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Fabiana, Fabi, okay? And I've been teaching English for a long, long time. And I've been working with the IELTS exam for about 6-7 years now. Yeah, and I really, really like working with the exam, because I feel that with the IELTS, I really help people achieve things. And it's not just about the exam, right? It's about lots of different things around it. Okay, so people take the IELTS exam for many different reasons. And I'm really, really happy I can help people achieve their dreams, okay? And like, so I help them with English, with the exam, so they can get the score they need and achieve their goals. Okay, whatever their goal is. Okay, cool. All right. So, so some issues that people have with reading. Okay, some of the issues are, okay, speed. Right. So on the IELTS exam, you kind of have to read quickly, right? So speed can be a bit of an issue for a lot of people, right? And also time. So some people can't read fast, and some people can't finish on the allotted time. So yesterday I was helping a student, and he tends to get good scores on the reading, but it takes him an hour and a half to do it, which you cannot have on the day of the exam, right? So these are struggles, okay? So people read slowly and they don't finish in 1 hour, which is the ideal, right? And also some types of questions, the yes/no question is a type of question that a lot of people hate. Okay, so these are some of the issues when it comes to reading for the IELTS exam. But I think that one that most people always struggle is with the vocabulary itself. Okay, so speed, time, and questions that we can work with, but vocabulary, I think vocabulary is built through period of time. So most people tend to struggle with that. So if you get text with a lot of vocabulary you don't know, that can be a big problem. That can be a difference between a 6 and a 7, or a difference between a 5 and a 6. All right, so we're gonna talk about this today. All right, yeah, so the main problem is usually the vocabulary. Okay, so people struggle with vocabulary quite often. All right, but I'm here to help you with that today. Okay, cool. So one thing I always tell my students is you should pay attention to the words you know, not the words you don't know. So a lot of people, okay, when they read a text, okay, they tend to focus on the words that they don't know. So they're reading something, they start reading, and they start to understand the text, and they go, oh, I don't know this word. Oh, I don't know this word. All right, so yeah, that can be a big problem. Okay, just because the words you don't know, they're not really gonna help you. The words you know are going to help you. So just imagine you take a text, right? And you keep focusing on the words you don't know. You're not gonna understand much. But if you get a text and you kind of skip the words you don't know and focus on what you know, you're likely to understand more, okay? But if you are one of these people, if you are the type of person who actually focus only on the words you don't know, okay? Try doing the opposite, and you will see that your results will be much better. All right, and that's my main advice. So if you find yourself focusing on only on the words you don't know, stop that right now and try to do the opposite. Okay, and see how you feel. All right, because that's one thing that I think everyone should be doing. Okay, you should, of course, like sometimes you need the words that you don't know very well, the new words for you, but mostly I think you should be focusing on the words you know, because these are the ones that are going to help you. Okay, so that's my first piece of advice today. All right, cool. Yeah, so vocabulary plus reading. Okay, so the the reading part I'm going to use today, I got from the IELTS website. I don't know if you know, but there is the IELTS website, the official one, okay? And at this official website, they have some samples, so some parts of the IELTS exam, which you can download and do it yourself, okay? So I'll leave the link for you later, okay? So I got this one from the IELTS website, okay? So this one was the sample test questions for reading, and this is academic, okay? So the type, the name of the text we're going to use today is The Origin of Birds. All right, and as you can see here, this is an extract from a part 2 task about the evolution of birds and their ancestry, okay? So as you know, in the IELTS exam, the reading part has 3 parts, for either general or academic. There are 3 parts, so this one was taken from part 2. So the part that is not that difficult yet, okay? Because the part 3 is always the hardest one for academic and general. All right, cool. So let's have a look. So this is the first paragraph of the text, okay? Maybe have a quick look and just think about it. Just have a quick look, okay? Maybe you can pause the video if you like to. So I don't know if you like the topic or not, but as you can see, it's like a little bit of history and a little bit of biology. So that's lots of topics here, okay? And have a quick look and maybe think about how many words you know, how many words you don't know, whether you think you'd find this topic easy or difficult. Okay, maybe you can pause the video if you like, just so you can try to understand it. Okay, cool. So this is the text, all right? So the origin of birds. So it talks about like hundreds and thousands of years ago. And it's interesting actually, but personally, I hardly ever read about this topic. So maybe for me it would be a little bit difficult. Okay, I don't know about you. If you're into this kind of stuff, then maybe you're gonna read it very quickly and understand everything. But if you're not into it, that can be an issue, all right? Cool. And these are the types of questions that we are going to focus on today, okay? So I don't know if you remember, but the main thing today is to get you to answer questions, okay, with words that maybe you don't know, all right? So I think it's totally possible to get the answer right, even though you don't know the meaning of the word. And that's what we're gonna practice today, okay? Being able to find the answer, even if we don't know the meaning of that word, we'll still be able to get it right, okay? So to show you how it is possible, I decided to use this text with this type of question. So this type of questions, it's the sentence completion, they call it, okay? So in this one here, you have to find, as you can see here, all right, you have to find one word only in the text. Okay, so you find one word and then you are able to answer the question, okay, but one word only. Okay, yeah, so that's what we're gonna do today. Let's go. All right, cool. So have a look at these words. So these words are words from the text. So have a look at these words and maybe think about how many of these words you know. Entomologist, backbones, ankle bone, collarbone, paleontologist, theropods, and pheasant. So all of these words here. Okay, so which ones do you know? Which ones you don't know? Most of these words, they are not, let's say maybe they're not very common. Of course, it depends on what you do. But actually, I showed these words to some people and they knew maybe one or two. Okay, but if you don't know many of them, get ready, because two of these words are actually, so they are actually answers for two of these questions. All right, so two of these words, they are actually answers for those questions. All right, so it was funny because what we're going to do today, you're going to see it's very simple, but it's funny because maybe you don't know the word we're going to choose for the answer, but we can do it. Okay, and I'll help you with that. Right, okay, so let's get started. Okay, so today is going to be a quick and short version of what we're going to do. All right, so usually when you do the real test, it takes you an hour to do it, and you would do one task, it would take you 20 minutes to do one part. We're gonna do the quick version today, and we're just gonna work with two questions. All right, so just two questions today, just for me to show you how to do it, and then you can go ahead and try by yourself. All right, cool. So if you have been my student, or if you have been following me, if you read my ebook, you know that I suggest, okay, you read the text first before you look at the questions. Okay, a lot of people, they get the IELTS test and they go straight to the questions. In the reading part, they go straight to the questions, and then they go and go to the text. I suggest you read the text first, okay? But how? You read the text quickly. Okay, so you should be quick. All right, and again, you're reading the text first just to get an idea of what you have to do. Okay, you don't have to read in details. Okay, that's what maybe that's the mistake people make, because they try to read everything and understand everything, which you don't need to. Just need to know what it is about, where information is, and then you go to the questions. Okay, so my advice would be have a look at the text first. Okay, so again, if you want to pause this video now, go over to the website, grab the text and look at the text now, you can, or you can just stay with me and have a quick look. So if you really need to read the whole text, go over there and have a look at it now. But if you're happy just to look at a part of it, stay with me here, all right? After you had a quick look at the text, okay, then you can have a look at the questions, all right? Just think about what type of questions do we have. So in this case today, you know, we're gonna deal with sentence completion. Okay, so this is what we're going to have today, okay? But today specifically, we're only going to deal with two questions, okay, just for the purpose of this activity. Okay, we're gonna deal only with two questions. All right, cool. So I suggest actually, so you read the text and then you go over to the questions. Okay, so you should go to the questions and then go back to the text. Okay, all right, okay, so as you can see here, we have two questions, okay? And then my advice, every time you have gaps like this, okay, my advice is actually to look at the question, okay, and see what's before and after the gap, okay? So let's start with question number one first. Okay, let's just start with question number one first. Okay, cool. So actually not question, but sentence. So sentence number one, Huxley formulated his theory while studying a dinosaur belonging to a group called something. All right, so one thing we can do is to think about the type of word you need. So called something, so probably a noun. Okay, so probably a noun or a name, right? Called something. So probably a name, right? So Huxley formulated his theory while studying a dinosaur belonging to a group called, okay, so another key things here that we have to pay attention to could also be a dinosaur, okay, belonging, and then we also have group, right? So we also have group. Okay, so when we look at this, we think about, okay, so we're gonna go over to the text now and look for where we have the information about a dinosaur belonging to a group. When we find that information, we look and try to get the name of the group. Okay, so that's what we should do right now. Let's go then. So remember, we're looking for a dinosaur belonging to a group. Okay, so let's have a look. So, can you find it? To help you, I'll have the question here. Okay, and that's something that we didn't have with the paper exam. Now students have been saying that they're saving a little bit of time on the reading part because doing on the computer, the text and the questions are right here. So it's easier to look at it. You know exactly where things are and it's right there for you. Okay, so again, so let's, let me just highlight here very quickly again for you. So we had dinosaur, belonging, and then we had group, right? And then we had a group. Cool. And then called, then had the name, right? Right. So it's funny because we can actually find the word belonging here, and we have dinosaur belonging. Usually it's not this easy, okay? But we have dinosaur belonging, and then we have here a classification, and then we have known as. Okay, and then we have this very interesting word here, which is this theropod here, this word. Now I ask you, what is the meaning of that word? Maybe you don't know. I don't know either, but it is the answer. But how do we know that? Just because we have here dinosaur belonging, very good. And then a classification is the same as the group. And then we have known as is our called. And then we're still able, so this is the answer, theropods. Okay, so if you manage to know exactly what's around it, you will get the answer right, even if you don't know the word. Okay, so this is a very, very good example here. All right, and that comes down to the paraphrasing of the reading part. Okay, so yeah, so the reading part is all about paraphrase. It's all about having the question written in with specific words and the same idea in the text, but with different words. All right, cool. Okay, let's do another one. Yeah, let's do another one. Now we're gonna go on to part 2. Okay, so quick read again, this part. So this is, I think, the third paragraph in the text, which will be our question 2. Have a look. All right, so, and this is the question, right? So let's analyze the question now. So remember, you have to pay attention to what's before and what's after. Okay, so let's see. So what's before here we have, so Heyman rejected Huxley's theory because of the apparent absence of blah, blah, blah in dinosaurs. Okay, so absence of something. So the answer is probably going to be a noun, right? So it's probably going to be a noun, so the absence of something, okay, in dinosaurs. All right, so let's look here. All right, so we have, so the theory, apparent absence, so the absence of, so the absence of is when you don't have something, right, in dinosaurs. So we're talking about dinosaurs here, okay? So it's the evolution of birds and dinosaurs is all it is about, okay? And then, so dinosaurs, so maybe we can go over to the paragraph and check where do we have dinosaurs. So blah, 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 blah. We have dinosaurs here. Any other one? No. So probably the answer is probably around there, right? And then look at this, we have lacked. And lacked is a synonym for absence. So meat-eating dinosaurs lacked something. So they didn't have something, the absence of something. And what is the something? Is the collarbone. Okay, the collarbone. Okay, if you don't know what a collarbone is, go over to Cambridge Dictionary or just go over to Google Images and you'll know what a collarbone is. Okay, I'm not going to explain to you. Okay, if you want, you can go ahead and do it right now. All right, so look up on Cambridge Dictionary or look it up on Google Images and you know what a collarbone is. Yeah, but that's the answer. So if you know, well, our collarbone is perfect, but some people don't know. And that is the answer for this one. All right, okay, guys. So as you can see, if you manage to pay attention to what's before and what's after in the sentence that you have to complete, okay, if you know what's before and after the gap, and you manage to go to the text and find that information, you will get the answer correct, even though you don't know the meaning of the word. All right, okay. So yeah, so that's the main point today. Okay, so we did true here today. Okay, and you can head through the website and get the full text, and you can finish it and check your answers. Okay, and let me know how you go. By the way, yeah. But I think this is pretty cool, and I think it's a proved way, okay, to get the answers right, and even though you don't know the word there. All right, cool. Okay, yeah. So these were some of the words. I don't know if you remember the words I showed you in the beginning of the lesson. Cool. Yes, it is the words, and these two words, they were the answers. Okay, but we managed to get it right because we could figure out what was before and what was after. All right, okay, cool. So, okay, so today, what I would like you to leave this lesson with, okay, so something to pay attention to, okay, if you, next time you do your, the whole reading test, okay, something I want you to do is focus on paying attention to the words you know. Okay, the words you know are really going to help you. As you can see, sometimes you need the words you don't know, but you should focus more on the words you know. Okay, so even if it is the answer, you will know when it's the answer if you focus on the words you know. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is analyze the questions well. As you could see, the reason we managed to get it right was because we analyzed the question well. Okay, so it's a combination of text and question. Don't spend too much time on the question or too much time on the text, the combination. But I feel that some people, sometimes they read the text a lot. They spend a lot of time on the text and then they forget to analyze the questions well. Pay attention to that. And of course, practice, practice, practice. Okay. Maybe the first time you try this is going to take you a long time. Okay. Like if you were in my last virtual class, you will see that I told you that sometimes when you do things, it takes a bit longer first time. And also, I think you should do things under exam conditions, and then you do things for practice too. So there are two different things, okay? So maybe if you liked the way we did things today, maybe get a test and do it slowly, okay? No time pressure or anything like it. So you can practice what you did, what you learned. And after that, when you get quicker, you know, get faster, then you can do this under exam conditions. All right, cool, okay. How you feeling? Okay, I hope you're feeling okay now, feeling better, feeling more relaxed, okay, or maybe a little bit overwhelmed. But if I were you, I would head to the website and take the whole test, okay, and then you can look at it and you can practice more. So we did questions 1 and 2. You still have 3 questions on the test there online, okay? All right. And do you have any questions today? No, not really. No, okay. So if you have any questions, just you can write it in the comments. Okay. If you have any other questions, and I'm happy to help. Okay, cool. And I'd like to say thank you. All right. So thank you for joining me today. And that's my email if you want to contact me to get any information about anything. You can head to the website. The mini course, the IELTS writing mini course is available there, and also the ebook. So there's also an ebook there available too. Okay. So thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.